In today's time, the world is overwhelmed and hurting. People everywhere are stressed out and do not know how to deal with it in a way that is healthy and helpful. Today, I want to help you discover exactly how stressed you are and give you practical ways of coping, minimizing, and/or eliminating stress in your life. I have been a nurse for over 8 years, and I have 3 young boys who are full of energy, very creative, and sharp. So, needless to say, you can understand that I have run into my share of stresses in life that I have had to learn to deal with. Along the way, I've sought advice, and through trial and error, have discovered the best ways to turn stress in my life from something that tears me down into something that pushes me to achieve more than I ever thought possible. As we travel together in this new adventure of school, we add even more stress into our lives, and therefore it is even more imperative that we focus for a little while on this area so we can ensure our success. By a raise of hand, how many of you would say that you have moderate to severe amount of stress in your life? Okay, good. I'm going to hand out a checklist of sorts that I want each of you to fill out. Make sure you answer honestly and keep your paper private because there are some personal questions that will be asked. And then once you fill it out, total your score. Okay, after taking that test, now how many people are moderately or severely stressed? A little more stressed than people thought they were. I wanted you to do that to show the importance of realizing your stress level and recognizing the things in your life that cause stress. It is easy for us to recognize the major things in life that stress us out, like a death of a loved one or selling a home, but sometimes it's the little things that are harder to recognize that creep up, like a change in responsibility at work or a change in hobbies or eating habits. That is why it is an important stressor to identify stressors in our lives so that we can take care of it. And that is the first step to relieving stress. Not only are some stressors hard to identify simply because they don't seem to be stressful, but they also can be missed due to their positive nature. For instance, having a baby is a huge blessing and the happiest time of your life, but at the same time, it is top on the list of stressors related to the adjustments and responsibilities added to your life. Going back to school is another good stress. We all know this one too well, although some of us may not categorize it as one of a good stressor. After you have taken the test, and now that we have discussed a few examples of stressors, it should be clear to you how stressed you are, but just in case you are still a little unsure of whether or not you are stressed out, I have a list here that I'm going to go over to make it easier for you to find out just how stressed your family is. You know your family is stressed when conversations often begin with, "Put the gun down and then we can talk." The school principal has your number on speed dial. The cat is on volume. People have a hard time understanding your children because they've learned to speak through clenched teeth. You are trying to get your 4-year-old to switch to decaf. The number of jobs held down by family members exceed the number of people in your family. No one has time to wait for microwave TV dinners. Family meetings are often mediated by law enforcement officials. And you have to check your kid's day timer to see if he can take out the trash. If that sounds like your family, you are definitely stressed. Okay, so now that we know how stressed we really are, what are we going to do about it? This is a crucial point in the plan for coping or dealing with stress. We have a choice to make. Everyone deals with stress one way or another, just some can be non-productive and even harmful, and others can be helpful. I'm going to focus on the more positive ways to cope with stress. So, according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, physical is the most crucial need a human being has, so we will start there. Some physical things you can do that will help eliminate and or minimize stress in your life is, first of all, to take care of your physical body. When you do this, you will feel better about yourself, which will in turn eliminate some stress automatically. Some ideas of how to do this would be to go to the doctor and have regular checkups. You should exercise and eat healthy. Another aspect of taking care of yourself physically is to participate in good grooming and hygiene habits. By doing all these things, you will greatly affect your mood and how you respond to circumstances that are happening or will happen in your life. It will give you the energy and clarity of mind to be able to make wise decisions or cope with stress that you are faced with. Once you have done that, you can now start taking care of your mind and heart. Relationships and staying connected to other people is a major aspect of staying healthy. We are meant to lean on each other and help each other out, and not to be alone or isolated. When you are feeling stressed out, go to your family and friends, talk to them, play with them, be available to them. One thing that is very therapeutic for you to do when you are going through difficult times is to help someone else who is going through something also. Or volunteer at a homeless shelter, bake cookies with your children and bring them to a neighbor just because. Or clean out your closet and donate it to a battered women's shelter. Those are just a few ideas. Some other things that would be good for your mind and soul are to pick a hobby and start doing it. I know that really helped me to relax and escape in a healthy way from the stress of my life, like reading a book or working on scrapbooks. You may need to go to see someone professionally. This is a very viable and helpful option. They can help guide you through decisions you may be faced with and help you to think positive and execute a plan for minimizing your stress. For some of you, your spiritual life is a priority, and if that is true, you need to address this also when coping. Talk to your minister or meditate. Whatever it is that you need to do to minister to your soul, you need to do it. Lastly, do something to challenge yourself physically or mentally. Once you do this, you will have a sense of accomplishment and pride that will help you to keep on keeping on in life. Now that we have recognized specific stressors in our lives, what they look like, and positive ways to cope, we need to come up with a plan. We will not be able to get through all of life's stress if we do not have one. And it is also important to have a plan prior to encountering stress, but if your life already is filled with stress, you can still benefit from coming up with a plan now. First, we need to prioritize the different stressors in our lives. We need to decide which we can eliminate, which are out of our control. If there are some due to poor choices that we have made, the first thing that we need to do is take responsibility for that and learn from it. And then once we do that, we need to decide which are the most important to tackle first, which ones we can eliminate. Once we have identified which are out of our control, we can sit down and come up with a proactive plan to work through all of it using some of the tools I've talked about earlier. Be sure to recognize stress early and then be proactive. Do not avoid it. I know I've talked about positive ways to handle stress at great lengths and the whys behind that, but I'm going to send you home with a paper that has 101 ways to cope with stress so you can have it to reference whenever something arises. Okay, with that, I want to leave you with these encouraging words of wisdom spoken by William Matthews. The difficulties, hardships, and trials of life, the obstacles, are positive blessings. They knit the muscles more firmly and teach self-reliance.